I'm Dana Crochier. I'm actually the producer of Rescued Hearts film. And I have only been doing film production since like 2021. I actually have a background in the financial industry. I was working for a mega bank in financial crimes for most of my career. And I actually had a very unfortunate health condition arise of chronic pain and ended up having two very challenging spine surgeries. Krisanna, it looks like somebody is able to share their screen and it's not you.
Yeah, let me see.
So if everybody could avoid sharing their own screen, that would be...
I'll make sure that's not an option.
Amazing. Okay, fantastic. I'm sure it was an accident, no big deal. So all of that to say, when I was going through my recovery journey after two unsuccessful spine surgeries, Krisanna was actually asked to create a film, and I helped her. It was about healing. So we're going to get into that. But I sit here today as a film producer and somebody that has just a huge heart for the mission of spreading a lot of love, hope, and healing through our films. So a little bit of my backstory with Rescued Hearts specifically. I used to volunteer as a horse handler with a place called Horses Help. It was a therapeutic riding center. And it was my actual introduction to horses. I was born and raised just outside of Chicago. I loved horses my whole life, and I couldn't even tell you why. I wasn't around them very much at all. And so when I moved to Arizona, which is where we're based, I got with horses the very moment I could. So as I was volunteering, I learned a lot about these animals. And what happened when I was volunteering was just magical. So many things would happen. And one night in particular, I was leading this horse with a 7-year-old boy who was diagnosed with autism, and he had never spoke a word in his whole life. And this boy spoke for his first time while I was leading this horse, and the therapist cried and I cried. His parents were there. Just, it was like a miracle unfolded in front of my eyes. So that never left my heart. And fast forward, 15 plus years later, after we got done with our previous documentary, which we'll talk about as well, I needed to volunteer again. I needed to do something besides work myself to death. So I started volunteering with an 8-year-old girl, and she just has my whole heart. And she was in foster care. She went through a lot of trauma as a child and ultimately ended up being adopted by a wonderful family who tried to help her with everything possible. And nothing really worked. And it wasn't until they started allowing her to connect with horses in a very safe setting where she started to open up and heal in ways they never thought possible. So I started volunteering with her 2 years ago, and it changed my life. So one night I came home from, doing whatever I was doing there. And then I started to see all of these studies that HeartMath Institute was talking about with the healing power of horses, and how our hearts synchronize with these animals. And we end up having what's called heart coherence. And that is what causes this beautiful healing effect. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. And these posts were being shared tens of thousands of times. And I told Krisanna, who, by the way, is not just my partner in filmmaking work, but also my partner in life. I said, I think we really need to bring to life what is the miracles, the mystery, and the science of healing with horses. So that is the inspiration behind Rescued Hearts. And I would love to pass it off to Krisanna to share as well.
Thanks for being here. I first just want to acknowledge the fact that what's happening in this moment is blowing my mind. We have almost 200 people here. And in my wildest dreams, I could have never imagined that this many people would be interested in coming together for a live conversation. So please know this, we're just going to share our hearts with you just for a little bit, because I know some of you may not even know who we are, just a couple, little bits of insights, and then we're going to have time for questions. So I think I saw some people anxious to ask questions. We would love to answer those, but because of the number of people in here, if you have questions, we probably won't check that intensely until we get to that time. So if you want to save it for that point, that would be really great. And I also just want to say as well, for those of you on this call who have dedicated your lives to this work, who have known maybe since childhood the magic of these incredible animals, I feel just honored to be in your space. I mean, for me, I was this like sickly kid who had asthma and allergies and wasn't really allowed to be outside very much. And so this is a new world for me. When Dana told me of this idea, I was like, oh my God, like, I don't know. I don't even know like if my allergies can handle being around hay and horses and dogs and cats and all the things. And I actually had plenty of allergy attacks. Not that you care, but I had plenty throughout our filming. But the most remarkable thing happened. My heart opened. And I shared a little bit about this on social media for those of you who may have seen. But I just want to honor those of you who dedicate your life to this work, whose blood, sweat, and tears goes into taking care of your horses, into trying to help people understand the magic of this connection. And we know that healing work has so much variety to it, right? There's like as many modalities as there are people, but there is some kind of magic to this. And so thank you for the work you do. Thank you for taking time out of your very busy day when, like our friend Michelle, she just was, feeding her horses and running around doing all this stuff, trying to make it to this call. And I'm sure George, the same thing. And Patrick and Avery and so many of you who've been on this journey with us. So thank you for taking this time and just believing in this project, because we want to give you a megaphone. We want the world to know the magic of what you're doing. And for those of you who are new to this world, welcome. You're like me. You're like the newbie who is just curious. And I'll tell you this, after all of our filming and the year that we have spent immersed with the most remarkable horses, animals, and humans, I know, I don't have children, but I know if my nephews were ever struggling with something, horses would be the first place I would take them. Like some kind of a therapeutic center would be the first place that I would tell my sister, let's go. That's how much I'm believing in this. That's how much I'm excited about this. And also about the work that needs to happen around the welfare of horses, right? So we could talk more about that. But anyway, I just needed to share my heart on that. And another note that I haven't shared actually at all is that when Dana and I first met, we actually went up north, and she had a friend who has a therapeutic center, and now she's actually in Santan. Her name's Cindy. But I had my first horse therapeutic experience, let's say. And within 5 minutes, it's like she read my cards. I walked out. I was terrified of the horses. I wasn't even sure like why I was there. And I told her, I don't think any of the horses like me and I don't want to be around them. And she looked at me and said, so how do you feel about people? And I just started crying. I just started sobbing. And I had a pretty tough exterior at that time. I had just come out as gay and was hurting, but like trying to be really strong. So that created a seed of curiosity in me that was like, there's something to this, but then life happened and we created another film and all this. So thank you for letting me share my heart with you. I think Dana will talk about this really quick, but we have like a minute video that maybe can help you understand how we got here, Dana and I started creating films together. Our last film was Love Heals. And then we got to this place of saying, maybe this is our purpose. And so we thought, instead of talking about it, maybe we could just share this minute video with you. Is that where we're going next, babe?
Yes, I would love for you all to see just a 1 minute video instead of reading bios and doing the same things. You can check out our bios on our website easily, but we'd like to just share a quick sneak peek of our journey. And Chrisanna,
in 2020, my partner Dana had 2 unsuccessful spine surgeries. I've been a filmmaker since I was 16, and for some reason felt compelled to document some of the hardest parts of our journey. After about a year, Dana's condition slowly improved, and we began production on a documentary focused on healing called Love Heals. Since its release, the film has been translated into 11 languages, shared throughout the world, won awards at film festivals, and most recently was accepted by PBS for release on public television. As we now begin production on another film about the healing power of horses, we both realize we have found our life's calling. We want to create films that spread hope and healing, that become a beacon of light for those who are still suffering in darkness. We believe elevating consciousness begins with healing ourselves, and we are on a mission to spread hope, love, and healing through conscious filmmaking.
That still makes me feel emotional. Our journey certainly cannot be summed up in 1 minute, but that is just a taste of it. And I'd like to briefly share with you, Krisanna and I, being the filmmakers that we are today, would not be what it is, and Rescued Hearts wouldn't be coming along the way that it is without our experience in creating the film Love Heals. So I have a lot of gratitude for a very painful journey in my life. We felt very alone and isolated in 2020. I actually ended up having those spine surgeries at the same time that COVID hit, and was in the intensive care unit by myself. She couldn't even be with me for either of those surgeries. And it was really a challenging time. But I will share with you that journey and creating a film about healing and self-love, and how we truly are our own greatest healers and can take a role in helping ourselves, that was just revolutionary for me. So we took 18 people on that journey with us. We all went to a retreat center in Sedona, Arizona, and learned all of these ancient wisdom, mind-body practices to help ourselves in our lives. And actually, there may be some people from that film here with us today on the Zoom call. And we're so glad to have you here. But Krisanna, do you want to share the slide for Love Heals? What I would like to share is that this film is an award-winning film. It came out 2 years ago, and it actually is now going to be on PBS as of last month. Actually, it's going to circulate the United States for the next 3 years. And we just got accepted on a streaming platform called Gaia that has over 800,000 subscribers. And this film is our personal story, but it's really the story of all of us. People say that they can see themselves in so many different people that we filmed with. And I would just love, if you feel called, to check it out. Our website actually is offering a free screening of the full version of the film right now. So if you're interested in checking out our other work, maybe it'll give us a little bit of street cred, you can check out lovehealsfilm.com and see our other film if you're interested. So it really brought us to the point we are today. And what we learned through that journey is exactly being poured into Rescued Hearts. So Krisanna, thank you for letting me share about that. So we can go back to Rescued Hearts now while everybody's here. That's what they're here for.
Yeah, I'm just so grateful that we have this time together. And I don't know how many of you saw the sneak preview, but if you haven't watched it, it's okay. But I highly, highly, highly recommend that you watch it. We just quickly wanted to give you some insight into where we're at in this process. So like we've mentioned, we spent the last year really fully dedicating ourselves to uncovering this mystery. We've talked to researchers, we've talked to scientists, we've talked to experts in the horse-human connection, we've talked to people whose lives have been changed. And it just seemed, as we started to uncover stories, the well never ran dry, let's say. So we've just been continually uncovering more and more profound places and people and humans and horses that we can film with. And so much energy went towards that. We're so grateful to all of you who made that happen, because every dime that was donated last year went towards the expenses of the film and truly made it possible. And Dana and I both worked our own separate gigs to make it happen. And it was just an incredible experience. And so now we're transitioning to editing, and we're just in awe of what's happening. So for me, I immersed myself in the content and realized, wow, there's so many things. In fact, this board behind me, I was going to share a photo of it, but these incredible themes started to emerge in the edit. But still, there's a lot of footage that I have to go through, and I'm just really excited about what's going to come together in the full film. But I'm even maybe more in awe of what came together in this fundraising clip. I think we called it a fundraising clip, and we weren't even sure what that would be. And then as it came together, I was like, oh my God, this is actually a short film. This is coming together as a really powerful piece, as we kind of focused in on some of the humans that we felt, we knew would be here today, and we felt could really help give voice to the initial phase of what we're trying to share. So thank you all for all of you who were in the sneak preview and are here today. It means a lot. And yeah, I'm just really excited about the journey. And so I did quickly want to share where we're at in the funding piece. Dana, did I miss anything while I share this slide?
Well, I think it would be better to share the sneak preview teaser first,
that's right.
and then we will land there because I'm so excited. For those of you who have not been able to watch the 20-minute sneak preview version of our film, I highly encourage you do it before the 19th of February when it's over. But Krisanna created a teaser of the teaser, and I would just like her to share that right now so that you all can see what we are up to. So if you want to do that, Krisanna.
Rescued Hearts began as an idea. Dana had witnessed a miracle with a 7-year-old diagnosed with autism who spoke their first words while working with a horse. And we were so curious how this happens. And we learned that these kind of miracles are not uncommon. The more we learned, the more we realized we were uncovering a story so much bigger than we could have ever imagined. What started as an idea quickly became our obsession as we traveled and filmed over 70 days throughout last year. We started with research and filmed experts sharing about the science of heart coherence. We filmed At Promise Youth from the inner city of Los Angeles, where horses are helping youth connect more deeply to themselves. We documented the most beautiful work in Hawaii, where many horses bring joy and peace to those in a local care facility. But we couldn't stop there. We began to hear over and over just how important it is to consider the well-being of the horse and realize just how much healing work the horses may need themselves. We started to see how it was all connected, like a tapestry of ancient wisdom we were slowly uncovering. There's so much more we could share, but of course, this is just a sneak peek. So we decided to start with those who live and breathe the horse-human connection every day. And what they have to share are deep truths that feel like they go way back to our ancient roots.
Wow. So I get chills every time I see that. And I appreciate all of the very kind comments that are coming in right now from those of you that felt the energy of what we just shared, in addition to maybe having already seen the sneak preview. And truly, our hearts are and souls are in every ounce of the footage that Krisanna has edited. And the last 13 months of our life have been extraordinary and sometimes really challenging. I will tell you that this is our first time fundraising to create a documentary to bring more love and hope and healing to the world in this way. And it's not always comfortable. We had to work through a lot of beliefs and fear of asking for what we need. And so I think in that process, we had to get really clear about what we really did need, because Krisanna and I are a team of two and we do a lot. And there are times when just the amount of workload we have in creating this film has caused a lot of mental and physical health challenges at times, let alone on top of that, needing to raise money. So I just want to share with you the truth of the situation. We are doing this to help raise awareness about our film, get people excited just to see Rescued Hearts when it's done, to maybe use it as a tool for their own lives and how they're working alongside horses and maybe helping people in these partnerships. So what we're doing with these sneak previews, we'll probably have one or two more that are focused on different topics between now and the time we hope to finish the film, which is this summer. So we actually had a budget in the very beginning of about $240,000. And while that may seem like a ton of money to raise to create a documentary, it's actually about a quarter of the amount a lot of documentaries cost to create. So we actually were very happy that that's where all the numbers landed when we realized all the expenses that we were going to have. So this first year, we raised $105,000 of that money on our own, which is remarkable. And when I say on our own, I mean in partnership with people who believe in us and believe in what we're bringing to the world. Meaning we didn't have a large organization or company come in and sponsor it, or one executive producer, which is what we had last time with Love Heals, who paid for the film to get done. We didn't have that. So I'm just so grateful for every person who's already donated. So we're just under halfway there, and that's okay. We're going to keep working at this until this film gets done. There's no doubt, there's nothing that's going to stop us. And we believe that there are people and maybe organizations that can support us on this journey. So I have the most amazing news about this. As of today, within the last 2 days, of the remaining amount we need to raise, which is still a really good amount, we did raise $10,000 so far between the donations that came in on our website and those that came in for people who got a ticket to watch the sneak preview. It was $10,171 to be exact. And I am elated. I am so grateful. And here's the second part of the great news, you guys, is that we have an anonymous donor that offered to double every donation that we get during this fundraising period up to $20,000. So what that means, because Chrisanne and I had kind of a loose goal of $50,000 just for this fundraising event, and then we'll do more to get us across the finish line. But I just want to thank that anonymous donor, if they see this live or in the recording, that we're so grateful, truly grateful, because we couldn't do it without you and all of you who believe in us. So yeah, so anything that is raised on our website, rescuedheartsfilm.com, under the donate, or when you get a ticket to this, will be matched up to 20K. So Chrisanna, what else do you have to add to that?
I feel that so deeply. And what I would love to add is that it's really remarkable how much people believe in the message of what we're trying to deliver, that we can put all this energy together to create something that we know millions and millions of people are going to see this film and be impacted by it. And because of what's already happening, even before content was actually shared, people were booking us for film festivals and booking us for events. And so we can talk about that later. But literally, that's the kind of energy that's been happening around all this. And it doesn't just happen, with just us or just a few people. It's really the energy of the collective. So thank you for being part of that. Even if you're just sharing it on social media, that's, it's not even just that is enough, because it means everything. And we're excited about all the ideas and the possibilities that are happening, and just the energy that's coming around all this. So I would like to highlight one person who is truly remarkable to me. And we met a lot of remarkable people in our time filming. But this person, her name is Tracy, and she is, I'm going to share a video about her, so I don't want to say too much, but she is a great example of a partner, someone who doesn't just believe in what we're doing, but is partnered with us. She has a sanctuary in Cornville, Arizona, and we actually filmed a workshop at her location, and she never asked for us to highlight her. She never wanted us to make sure the sign was in the shot or whatever, which is totally cool if people ask. That's fine. I'm all about that. But what I love about Tracy is that she leads with her heart. And she told us without us even asking her, she said, "Hey, I'd like to be a sponsor for your fundraising event so that you can make the sneak preview available for free." And so she gave us a sum of funds, and then we were able to make the sneak preview available for free. And we're so grateful for Tracy, because she is truly an earth angel on this planet with the horses that she's helping. And her place is really, she's created this energy of healing. Workshops happen there and people come and they gather. But it just started with an idea, which you'll see in this video that I'm about to share. But I say all this because if there's any spark of oh, you know what? I think I know of a company who could really benefit from sponsoring this film, because it would help get the company out further, if that makes sense. Or if you're an individual who's just looking to leave a really powerful legacy. We're not trying to be salesy here. I hope it doesn't come across that way, but I hope you see the power of us coming together and being able to be a bridge and say, as we are really wanting to share this powerful message, we can help elevate others. So that's what we're looking to do. And we just thought, Tracy didn't ask us to do this, but we wanted to elevate her. And so we did a little quick Zoom interview. It's just a couple minutes, but this way you can see who this special human is. And I also want to echo the number of people on this call who are probably just like Tracy, who have sanctuaries or rescues, who are behind the scenes, and maybe other than social media, people really don't even know maybe the amount of sleepless nights that you have, or the amount of times that you don't even know how you'll pay your bills. And Tracy actually gave us the money and didn't even know where it was going to come from. That's how much faith she had. So that blew us away. We had no idea. But I just want to honor all of you who are doing this work, because I really, really, really believe that the film that we're creating is going to help bring even more people to this place of understanding the power of heart coherence, understanding the power of connecting with horses in a way that's really beautiful, not in a way that's using, obviously, the horses as tools. So I think I've said enough. I'd love to share that video if that's where we can go next, Dana. Yeah?
Yes, let's do it.
Cool.
If you get out of your head and into your heart, you take away parameters of time and money and all those conditions that society's put on us, and just really dream big. And it was horses, animals, nature, space. God, the universe will just hand it over if that's what your calling and purpose is. Having the space and being in this area, you just start getting contacted by people that, oh, I hear you have room for a horse. Do you want a free horse? And they bring me this retired horse from a trail riding outfit. And when they pulled her off the trailer, I was just shocked. She was skin and bones. I mean, just numbed out in her eyes. And that's when my awareness grew of what a need there was. I contacted Michelle because she was pretty well known in this area for horsemanship, and was just like, I need to learn about horses. Like, I didn't know how to tack up a horse, how to even put a halter on a horse. So she came over to give me lessons, not to ride Little Miss, but just to learn about her. And when she saw the space, she had a horse as well that was kind of, needing a place to go. So I took him in, and then her and I just built up rapport right away and became friends right away and started finding homes for horses and rescuing horses. And then I bought a truck, and then I bought a horse trailer, and then it just really, really started building. And there's just such a need. I mean, there are so many horses that are just thrown away once they're not making money or fulfilling a service. I took in as many as I can. I'm up to 20 equines currently. I mean, I'm so grateful and blessed by this life, and I've seen so many transformations. But once they're here, they're here unless they tell us they want something else, and then we'll find something better. I became a mother at 21 years old. I've been through a lot in the last 24 years. And I've learned through all those experiences that when you let go of fear and you have faith in God and in love, like, things happen, especially if it's rooted in love and hope. And there's just really no place in true living for any sort of fear or unforgiveness. And the horses teach you that so well.
Wow. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you so much, just for your work. And then, of course, for believing in us and being part of it. I love seeing the comments coming through. And it's amazing to me that came through on Zoom. It's just so powerful. We actually had such a beautiful chat with Tracy. We ended up telling her, like, this was what we needed to hear, because she's just grounded in trust and trusting life and really believing when you have a dream and you're called to a purpose, that the universe supports it. And so thanks for being a model of that and your heart to help these beautiful animals. And she doesn't just have horses. She has so many other animals that have come to her. And you saw some of them, but I didn't even film all of it when we were together, because we were filming the workshop. We were focused on that. But anyway, I just really wanted to thank Tracy for her contribution and just for her heart. Dana, where are we going next?
Well, what I would like to do next is start to introduce the folks that are here with us tonight. So I also want to recognize everybody that may have come from the Heartland fan club, because we have, just in my opinion, one of the most amazing, humble, incredible humans that is not only one of my favorite actors, and Heartland literally is my favorite show. It got me through some really dark times in my life. Krisanna and I, while I was trying to recover from spine surgery, watched every episode together from season 1 till it was current at that time. And I will tell you that the heartwarming show of Heartland and Amber Marshall's character, Amy Fleming, truly gave us so much hope and so much joy and so much love and peace and all of the things that we needed at the time during the darkest season of my entire life. So when I reached out through all of the ways, through a lot of trust that I would get a message to her, I can't even believe it worked. It was amazing for her to say yes when she found out we were creating a film about the healing power of horses. And she is the real deal. She walks the talk. It's not just in her character in the show, but it's in her everyday life, her connection to horses, her connection to nature. It's real and profound. And the way that she can articulate it is amazing, especially when she's not scripted and she gets to share from her heart. It is incredible. So I want to thank the people from her community and her followers that are also following our journey because we have her in our film. So I just want to thank you. She is not on the Zoom call. We actually weren't sure if she was going to be available or willing to show up because she also has to be really careful about where she appears and how we allow people to engage with her. We learned a lot about the blessings and the challenges of being a very popular celebrity type person. So I just want to honor her and the people that follow her and our Heartland fans, because I'm one of them. And I could not be more grateful that she is in our film. And what we filmed with her in Canada for 2 straight days and one somewhere else that will remain undisclosed was nothing short of miraculous. And I'm excited to share it in our film. So thank you for that. Chrisanna, I would love for you to share some of the photos. I just want to give a brief introduction to all of the people that are on this call with us today. Chrisanna just took a few still shots from our sneak preview. Sorry for the faces, but I think they're so cute. She took the snapshot of when their title was actually up. So Michelle Peterson with Medicine Horse Healing. Michelle has turned into one of our very best friends and sisters. She is just a remarkable human. And I found her because when people in the horse world found out we were creating this film, I kept getting messages. Do you know Michelle Peterson? Do you know her? And I'm like, I've seen her on Instagram. I'm really drawn to her work, but I don't know her. So I have a lot of gratitude for Michelle. She led us down some really beautiful paths and is currently in her own journey of connecting with her wild Mustang and has been working with domestic horses for a very long time. It's a very soulful experience. And she is the first person that used the term to me, horse listener, not, we don't need horse whisperers. And I was like, oh, interesting. Okay. So Michelle, we would love for anybody that has any questions, by the way, for any of these incredible human beings on this call with us, to please feel free to ask in the chat. All right, Chrisanna, do you want to show? And she is on the call with us today.
Yeah, and I want to honor Linda, who birthed Michelle. Thanks for being here, Linda.
Her mom.
Thanks for bringing her to us, because she is a great angel to this planet.
Let's unmute Michelle very briefly.
Okay.
And we're just going to ask a very quick question to each person. And that way we know everybody has an opportunity to talk. This call is only 90 minutes, and I want to make sure we're honoring everybody's time. If you have to go at any certain time, the recording will be sent out. So no worries there. We do have a few announcements at the end. So I'm just going to ask each person that we filmed with that's here with us to answer a very brief question, and try to keep it brief in your response as well so we can get to everybody. All right, Michelle, I'm just wondering, what is the most important message you hope people get from Rescued Hearts, or what you hope people can understand about horses from your perspective? And Chrisanna, oh, you already unmuted her. Perfect. Whatever comes to your mind, heart first.
How deeply horses, thing I'm most passionate about personally is how deeply horses experience, how sensitive they are, how deeply attuned they are to what's happening inside of us, and what they're asking us to listen to, which is our own hearts. So when people say, how can I become a better horsewoman, horseman? I say, learn what you're bringing to the conversation. Do your inner work, because they're cool without you. They're good. It's how deeply they're inviting us into that and how deeply they experience it. So we can truly receive the gift, but more importantly, honor them.
Beautiful.
Because they're my homies.
They are. They're your BFFs.
Yes.
Thank you, Michelle. We're so honored
you.
to have you here. And of course,
Thanks for thanking my mom too.
Oh, we love Linda. Okay, so next we have Patrick from Gamilah Unbridled.
I think we should highlight Patrick and Avery at the same time because they're also together.
They're sitting in this. You're right.
And they're married recently. Congrats on that.
Yes. So these two humans literally stole our hearts. I was given Patrick's name as somebody who took this extraordinary journey across the country, bridleless on an Arabian horse, to prove that doing work at liberty with horses, giving them a choice and not having all of these tools to control them and working with them as partners was possible. And then he raised a bunch of money for rescues across the country. And I was just in awe. That was the only thing I knew about Patrick at the time. So I reached out over email about our film, and I thought, Patrick is somebody I really want to talk to. And he was so kind in very gently letting me down that he felt like he didn't have anything to really contribute. He wasn't sure how he could contribute to this film. And I told Chrisanna, I just felt crushed because I knew there was something here. So with polite persistence, I actually got to meet Patrick at a clinic for Liberty in Arizona. And as soon as I met this man, I felt like he was my brother. And then as soon as I met Avery, I was like, oh my gosh, these two humans are like long lost family. But what's amazing is what they're doing with horses. So we got to observe them taking some of the toughest rescue horses in the country, showing the world what is possible when you work with these horses at Liberty, with trust and patience and kindness and love and listening. And so I would like to introduce Patrick and Avery. They're here with us tonight. We're so honored. I think Chrisanna is going to see if she can unmute and highlight. So if each of you would just like to share, what you hope people get from Rescued Hearts and what you have to share with the world, we would be so grateful.
Yeah, well, first off, we just want to let everyone here know that you two are some of the most special, genuine people that we've ever met. And this film represents everything that you represent, even though it's about horses and all of us. You're wearing your heart on your sleeve each and every time you interact with people, every time you show a video or a clip. And it's going to be a special film because of the heart that you both have and the individuals that you are. And it doesn't take very long to interact with you both, to understand what a gift from God that you both are. So before I get started, I just wanted to share that because we truly mean it. And again, we're so blessed to be here. We focused mostly on liberty. And liberty is giving the horse the freedom to choose and to think and to be empowered. I think at the end of the day, when you give horses the opportunity to think for themselves and the opportunity to learn and want to learn, they're empowered for the rest of their lives. And for us, that means everything. Liberty is our lives. This is how we live. We don't just talk about it. We try to live with it. And horses have taught us so much by just giving them the opportunity to talk back.
Yeah, I think all that he said, and there's so many, like Chrisanna mentioned, there's so many beautiful things just watching even the preview of Rescued Hearts that it's sharing. But personally, I'm really passionate about just the message of how we can do better for the horses. We ask so much of them, and just like Michelle mentioned, if we can become better listeners, we'll realize that these horses want to connect with us and want to give us so much. And if we can just really listen and become that better person for them, it's amazing how much they give us. And we found through our, work with the rescues that it doesn't matter what kind of horse, it is or what they've been through. They have the opportunity to heal. They have the opportunity to be amazing partners. And through Liberty and through really trying to connect with them at that level and giving them that opportunity to choose, we've just been amazed at how much they've given us back. And so we really want to share that with more people and encourage more people to try and create a deeper relationship with their horse.
Thank you both. so very much. What you're doing is so important, and we hope that it inspires people to connect with their horses in new ways.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Who do we have next, Krisanna? And I think she's trying to also put in the chat how to reach these incredible humans. So maybe we can just put that in the recording notes as we send out emails so that it's in one place for everybody if they want to stay connected to all these great folks.
Yeah, I realized as Michelle shared so beautifully, and I was like, oh, what if people want to get connected with her? So I wanted to mention that we plan to send out an email after all of this is complete, and especially at the end of the screening, with links to everyone, like everyone's full name and where to get connected with them. But Avery and Patrick, if you don't mind putting in the chat, I know Modern Day Horsemanship is your website, but if there's like a specific place where people should connect with you, that would be great, just in case. Because I know that's something, actually, I had a few messages from people that were like, I need to write down everyone's name that was in your sneak preview, and I need to connect with them. And so we were like, oh, we should make this easier, but at least while we're together.
We met ABRIANA thanks to another human that we're going to introduce. But when I heard about ABRIANA, and she's an author, she's a podcaster, she's an entrepreneur, she's a teacher, she's a horse person, she's amazing. And I'm just so grateful we got connected. Okay, that is my brief intro. Take it away, ABRIANA. What do you hope people get out of this or understand better about horses as of this film?
I think when we look at working with horses now, one of the questions that comes up often is who gets access to this? So the message that I want people to get from this is one of belonging. I think y'all have done a great job of fostering that kind of energy that draws people in, but sometimes it's hard to go into a space where you don't see people who look like you exist. So through my work with Black in the Saddle, through my children's books, through all of that, I'm looking to increase representation in the horse industry and understanding that what's right now is the middle of the story. There were 1 in 4 cowboys in the West were Black horsemen and horsewomen. So I want to foster a sense of return to what was before and not this belief that this is not for people of color.
Yes, yes, and yes. That's everything. And I am so grateful that you also said yes to being in this film and to helping spread so much information that I think is so necessary. But the sense of belonging for everyone is everything. And that is what I'm so grateful for. So thank you for all that you do for us and in your everyday life to foster that.
Thank you.
And
Okay.
tell us about Black in the Saddle podcast.
Okay. Black in the Saddle is a podcast that discusses the impact and the influence of Black people in the horse industry. So there's over 80 interviews, over 100 episodes. The podcast has been on since 2019, and I'm actually about to relaunch it. So yeah, give it a listen.
Cool. Love it. Thank you so much. Okay, Krisanna, let's keep moving quickly.
Yes, Kelsey, I just gave her a heads up, and we are going to make her live next.
All right. I am so excited to have Kelsey with us today. She actually, it's so funny how it was like a web of connections. And so I heard about Kelsey at an event we were filming at ASU when somebody heard about Rescued Hearts. And they said, but wait a minute, horse-human connection. Did you talk to Kelsey? And I said, no. And we really wanted an Indigenous perspective. We knew that there was this deep connection with horses in this beautiful culture, and I didn't know much about it. And I wanted to learn everything I could. And Kelsey is another one that was like, there are probably a million other people that can speak to this, that are experts, more than what you're looking for. And I was like, oh, Kelsey, I know, and I hear you, and I honor that. And I'm still hopeful that you'll be part of this because we really want to hear from you. And thankfully, she also said yes. So Kelsey, I would love for you to share what you hope people can glean from this film or your message in it.
Yeah, thank you all. I I think for me, similar to what ABRIANA shared, it can be really weird to be the only Native person in a lot of these horse spaces, while at the same time having this like thousands of year history and shared history with horses and the land. And so like I'm so grateful to just be able to speak to that and to really think about like this shared history of survival, because horses and indigenous peoples, we have so much in common. We've faced so many of the same structures of colonialism, and we have survived together. Our history is this like deep history of survival and healing. And that's really what it is for me and my horses. And so I think that, my message and my takeaway is to, listen to the first peoples of the lands. And also that it's so amazing to see how this healing thing that's so specific to my tribe is also so universal at the same time. And I think that's really powerful. And so, yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kelsey. I just love your heart and what you're here to help us better understand and learn. And yes, I hope that in future films and things, it's not just one representation of something, it's many. And yeah, I just thank you for being on this journey with us. We're so grateful.
And thank you for your dogs.
Oh,
because-
God.
There it is.
Junebug, you guys. There are certain people's dogs we fell in love with. We have no animals of our own because we travel too much. So there are certain dogs and horses and everything else in between that we connected with. Oh, my heart.
Dana talks about Junebug way too often. She is enamored.
The dog I've ever met in my whole life. Oh my God. Okay, let's go, Christina. I don't want to.
So we are going to highlight Veronika next, which I think is a beautiful transition because I wasn't a part of the conversation, so you could speak to this, Dana. But basically, Kelsey is the reason we were connected to Veronika Lack, who is quite a force. So I'll go ahead and highlight her, and then Dana, you can share anything else.
Yeah, I'm just really grateful. I asked Kelsey, ask for help. I said, I recognize that our film is being represented by so many people who look like me, and that doesn't work for me. And you'll see a beautiful amount of diversity, and everybody belonged and love heals, and it could not be any different for Rescued Hearts. And Kelsey said, okay, I'm willing to help you if this really is important to you. And it was. And she said, I need you to know Veronika Lack with the Herd Institute, where she did some training. And then it snowballed from there. There's so many others. But Veronika, I would love for you to share your hope and desires with this film and your message for the world. We're just so honored to know you.
I love you both so much. And Christina, I could listen to you all day long. Your voice is just mesmerizing to me. But I think what I'm hoping with this is the chance for people to see what can happen when we decenter the human in these human-horse relationships and really listen to the horses so that we can look at how their experiences as controlled and oppressed beings can help us understand the systems of oppression that we all live in, and then support us and allow us to challenge all of those systems. So, access, diversity, inclusion, belonging. We can't have any of that unless we dismantle some of those barriers. And that's what I truly believe, that the work that you two are doing through this is going to connect so many more people to understanding what that looks and feels like when we can connect through consciously, intentionally dismantling those systems.
Yes, Veronika, we love you just as much, by the way. And I'm going to share that what Veronika has to say just resonates so deeply. Krisanna and I'm going to get vulnerable for a half a second because we're running out of time, but we had a lot of fear going into creating this film because of who we are and who we love, each other. And we didn't know if we would be accepted in this space. And we have been welcomed with open arms and open hearts. All the places that we've gone, but especially at Veronika's Herd Institute conference that she invited us to actually meet with some of these incredible humans. Actually, I see Patricia Jackson on the call from We Ride Too. I see you, girl. Thank you so much for your support. But yeah, I'm just in awe of what you've created in the Herd Institute. I'm so glad that it exists. So grateful. Okay, Krisanna, who do we have left? I don't even know how many people we have left. I'm so sorry.
Well, I just want to say, people don't know this, but we're going to do some more filming with Veronika. That is like a secret, but she has some fire in her, and we cannot help ourselves. We're going to Orlando next month, and we're going to do some filming together with sessions. And even just editing your content, Veronika, has deeply moved me. I mean, everyone has deeply moved me, but just because you bring together so many pieces that really help us understand a holistic picture. So thank you for that. And thank you for saying that about my voice. I appreciate you.
Love you, Bea.
Love you too. Love you. Okay, so he didn't respond, but I think he's ready. I think George is ready.
Oh, George. I will tell you, we met George. We filmed with him in Colorado. Michelle actually is the reason we found out about him. And then everybody just loves George. He is doing some amazing work with wild Mustangs and wild burros. And I would just love for George to share what this means to him and what he hopes with this film and his participation in it.
Oh, it's been a joy being a part of this. I've got to speak for the herd that since I've only got probably a minute or two, there is a deep, eternal wisdom within the Mustang herd, whether it be the 31 Mustangs in my backyard, which is an honor in all of itself, being that close to a herd of Mustangs, and then be involved at the state level with hundreds and hundreds of Mustangs. But I think if there's one thing that those Mustangs would love for humanity to learn or get back to, is clarity. That one simple word. We need to be clear and we need to be genuine, starting with ourselves and then working into every relationship, whether it be relationship between two spouses, what have you, but all the muddled stuff, gender, race, just the whole laundry list, all the isms have got to go. Horses don't care about isms. They don't care about racism. They don't care about sexism. They don't care about all these other isms. They only care about the herd. And the herd thrives when every member of the herd is healthy and moving forward. And a 3-year-old horse is going to be different than a 30-year-old horse. But a 30-year-old horse still plays probably a larger role in that herd because they have the wisdom and they have the leadership. But if there's one word, it's getting humans to learn clarity, starting with themselves and then moving forward. I think that is, if there's one word, one anything, clarity. And get back to the joy of being a 5-year-old with a horse. Back to the joy of being a 5-year-old with any critter, dog, cat, squirrel, chipmunk, what have you. Because we were honest with ourselves when we were 5. And get back to our own honesty and be grateful for the opportunities we have with these horses. They have got a lot more to teach us than we will ever teach a horse. Horse already knows how to side pass. Horse already knows how to do a flying lead change. Horse knows we struggle and struggle and struggle. And the reason we're struggling so much is because we're trying to make the horse to do it instead of partnering with the horse to do it and sharing. It's not a give or a take. It's a sharing. Mm. And I think that's the other thing. We don't give take. Horses aren't a transactional being. They're a being that shares, because sharing equals thriving. And so there's I mean, I could go on forever, but there's just some very simple concepts. If we would learn from the herd, humanity would be doing a whole lot better than we are right now, messing up on everything.
We'll make that your mic drop moment.
Right.
Okay. I love it. Thank you, George, so much. We loved filming with you. We just think you're doing such beautiful work, and your message is very resonant for us. So thank you for your Krisanna, she's going to squeeze in one more person. I realize we're at time. So if you can hang with us for just a moment, and then we'll make quick announcements at the end.
Well, I was going to say, before we do that, if you want to hear more from George and hang with us, we actually just decided that we're going to go to an event where George is being highlighted, and a beautiful woman by the name of Connie that we filmed with. Where's Connie with? What's it called?
Tame, T-A-M-E. She works with, oh my gosh, I think Brianna, there was another person on here. Okay, there's lots. Brittany, I think, is on this call. If she is, she can comment. But yeah, there's a lot of cool Mustang stuff involved here, and we're going to the Mustang Expo in Colorado. Great Escape Mustangs. Thank you. Thank you, Brittany. Connie is one of their trainers. They just have this incredible system of being able to get these Mustangs that have been rounded up and get them to proper people to help train them and make them adoptable. And anyway, so much beautiful stuff to talk about there.
So
but we were
invited to go to the event because we released the sneak preview, and then the director of the event was like, wait a minute, can we show this at our event? And then we said, oh, we should just come. So it's in Colorado, it's in Denver, Colorado, and it's next month. Yeah, the Rocky Mountain Horse Expo. Thank you. We will bring our cameras. But I say all this because I think it's a fun segue to what I alluded to earlier, that we're already being booked for events with a film that's not done. And a lot of these bookings were happening before the sneak preview was even done. So we have film festivals asking if we'd be willing to submit. And so all this to say, we are really excited about the potential and the possibilities that await us. We, of course, want to do a worldwide virtual release. That is our intention. We may do some pre-releases with partners as kind of focus groups as we set intentions on certain high-level film festivals. So we're gonna trust and be guided in that way. But stay on our email list and you'll hear about anything that we have in the works. But we may do some of those like focus group releases first, and then go on to the film festivals, and then some kind of a worldwide release. And we've had people tell us that we should look into National Geographic or whatever. So send some energy towards that. We don't know what's going to unfold. But we're already booked for an event in the UK, and we're booked for an event back east at Martha's Vineyard. And what's really cool is we have some ideas around how we can even partner with organizations as the film is released to have the film be like a fundraising event for them, where they can show maybe even some short segments if that works better for them, and then be able to raise a lot of funds for that year. So these are all things we have in the works. But no, if you have any ideas, or if you're curious, or you're like, gosh, I really would love to use the film in this way, I'm like, make sure to reach out to Dana, not me, because I got to edit. Email Dana. I'll put her email in the chat.
Oh, thanks.
But I just wanted to talk about that first, because I think it's really exciting. And we weren't even expecting to go to this horse expo. And then they're like, oh my gosh, the sneak preview is so amazing. Can we premiere it? And so it's really cool. I think time will tell, like how many beautiful things will come of this film and its creation. But we're open to ideas and ways of partnering together.
Yeah, I'd like to add one thing. Krisanna, you did a great job. We definitely will make sure everybody can see this film when it's done in the different phases of release. We'll do a couple more fundraising opportunities. There's also a few films that will probably be created after Rescued Hearts that dig deeper into some of the grief and some of the wild horse stuff. Actually, I have names for all these short documentaries, and, Wild Hearts, Broken Hearts, Connected Hearts, Stolen Hearts. There's so many things that I have just dreamed up because of the content guiding us to go deeper into this. So we need, long-term support and excitement for these films as they release. And yeah, we're gonna go deeper into some of these topics. I also want to echo what Krisanna said. If you guys have any questions or ideas, I saw somebody saying, yeah, get into the Canada Film Festival. Oh my gosh, our footage from Canada in Calgary is so stunningly beautiful. So yeah, we need to be thinking about those things, but we're a team of two and we don't always think of everything. So by all means, if you have ideas or contacts for us with, potential sponsors or folks that can help, get this film done and that we can also elevate, we'd be so grateful. Chrisanna.
T-shirts.
Oh my gosh,
Someone asked.
guys, I'm going to release them soon. I have been working diligently on the process. Oh, hats. Okay, George, we'll do T-shirts first and then we'll roll out other merch. But I'm going to tell you, having an e-commerce store and learning to design and how to do this whole process has been quite the learning curve. I'm a filmmaker and my background is in the financial world, not in e-commerce and T-shirts. So I've learned a lot and they're going to be amazing. We did a survey and we're going to pick the top 2 designs and those should be for sale before the end of this month. So that's another way that y'all can support us and show your love of Rescued Hearts and open up conversations about the healing power of horses with others. And so we're super excited about that. Okay.
Someone said we should do hoodies as well. So
I love
hoodies.
hoodies.
Make that happen.
I love hoodies.
We'll do our best. She's a magician. So yes, it's all in the works. And the last person that we wanted to highlight is one of the first people we filmed with. And her name is so cool. I wish I had a name half as cool. Janice Story. But here's what I need to say about Janice. One of the most powerful scenes in our film, I believe, will be a scene that actually we filmed with Dana's father. And I'm not going to go into too many specifics around that, but he's someone who's never gone to therapy. And that, it's not a negative, I'm not saying anything negative about him, but he wasn't even like, he had never done any kind of work in this way, processing stuff from the past. And it was actually his idea. He said, well, what if you film me? And he was going through some health challenges at the time, which we'll go into in the film. But what unfolded was the most incredible experience, maybe of Dana and I's lives. And it healed the deep wound that Dana and her dad had for most of her life. And I say all this because Janice facilitated it. And we had no idea what we were getting into. It was actually about a year ago. We were very early into filming. And we just brought our cameras and we're like, well, this could be I was going to say a curse word, but this could be, kind of like a joke. I don't know. There was no expectations. We just trusted the process. And the way Janice facilitated it in the beginning, we were like, wow, this will be interesting. Is he even open to this? But she got right to his heart and she used I don't want to say used, but she worked with her horses in a way. And one of those horses, may he rest in peace, Cowboy, is no longer with us. And I just feel he is forever immortalized in our film in what will be, I think, the most powerful scene. So I just needed to honor her and highlight her because we are so grateful for her heart. And she's here in Arizona. She's in Cave Creek. So thank you, Janice, for everything that you do. Thank you for having a heart that's so big. And thank you just for your love. And I'm so sorry about Cowboy. I can't even imagine what that's like to lose just a beloved, friend and partner. And I know you're a bit emotional, but I would just love to hear anything that you would like to share from your heart. Just any words that you'd like to share.
Well, sure. Now you got me bawling. I love the two of you so much, and I'm so honored and blessed to be able to call you my friends. That was an amazing experience with your dad, and it's one that I will never forget. I get to witness stuff like that all the time and literally get to see the miracles that unfold and happen when we open our hearts. And I do call them magical sentient beings because that's what they truly are. And when we can open our hearts and let them touch us without any expectations, without the agendas, without the scripts, without the prompts, it is magical. And this is how we heal, right? And I've been so excited that you guys are sharing this message because I want the world to understand how powerful just being in the presence of a horse is. So thank you for everything that you do and for everything else everybody has said. I think this is just going to be an amazing way to reach people about the horses. So I love you guys and thank you.
Oh, thank you, Janice. We love you with our whole hearts. And I will tell you that my relationship with my dad healed that day. And I've never been closer to him and been able to have more open conversations with him. And just grateful, eternally grateful for the rest of my life on this planet, because I was really missing that connection. So thank you for helping the horses and through your facilitation open his heart. I need to transition really quick because I want to share one more thing before we close. I didn't realize how impactful this journey was going to be for Krisanna and I and everybody that we connected with and the horses. And I'm just so incredibly grateful. Even if, you know, this film were to be seen by half the people we hope and it helped a handful, it would be worth it. It would be worth it because of what I personally experienced. So I just want you to know how grateful we are. And when we started this journey, it was definitely with a lot of faith that we would find the support and partnerships that we needed to make it happen. So I just want to thank again all of you who have already supported us. And, you know, even just the music for the 2.5-minute trailer that we released, do you know songs are like, it was like $1,000 per song to license. So when I tell you this stuff's expensive, you guys.
We negotiated them down, but that was the original cost.
but the truth is we want to work with a beautiful composer to customize some of the tracks for our film that actually bring the heart out in ways that can evoke emotion and different things than just, you know, picking a track off of a list. And Krisanna's amazing at that. But part of our fundraising is for music. It's for, you know, very high level audio mastering so we can put our film in theaters when it's done. It's for things you wouldn't imagine, things that we can give more people access, like language translations. I can't tell you how many people reach out. They're like, is this going to be in Portuguese? And I'm like, I don't know, probably not, but I hope so. You know, it's like all of the different things. So Brianna is actually on the call with us tonight. And Brianna is a phenomenal musician that we met through a friend, actually good friends of ours who utilized her talents and skills in music in their film called Wildfire. And I'm just so honored that she is willing to work with us in that way. So yes, that is part of, you know, fundraising as well, is making sure the music fits the film. And also her best friend is a singer and was so inspired. Her name is Elena. And she was so inspired when she heard about Rescued Hearts and she heard about the theme of this film. She actually created a custom song that is about this film. And I will tell you, I wish that we could share it right now. It's not finalized and she wants it to be just perfect. But I will share with you that yesterday we heard the most recent, close to final version. And I was a puddle of tears in our kitchen, crying. Krisanna was crying. And so we want to be able to do things like, you know, pay for licensings for that song. And so we just want to thank you for whatever it is that you do to support us, whether it's just being here and having your open hearts and watching the film when it's done and sharing it with others. That's more than enough. And if you do feel called to go deeper in your support of our film, we'd be most honored and grateful. You can make donations on rescuedheartsfilm.com. They are tax deductible when you do it through our website. We are backed by a fiscal sponsor. They take 5% of our donations, but we're so grateful that they can offer tax deductions. As you know, we have the $20,000 dollar for dollar match. So now's the time. We're super excited about that. And of course, you can donate on the landing page of the sneak preview if you haven't seen it yet. So I just want to thank you. So many of you stayed with us for much longer than we anticipated. So I can't say enough about how much I just appreciate all of you and your open hearts. And I can't wait to release this film to the world this summer. Krisanna, do you want to close us out?
Oh, my heart is so full. I just have so much gratitude for this time together and the amount of people that were interested in this. And then just this, I think I didn't expect that our time together would be so emotional, like in a beautiful way. But it makes sense because even the name Rescued Hearts, when Dana told me the name and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I like it. And then we actually had people try to tell us that the title was all wrong and we needed it to be, they thought it should be a different title, which is totally cool. People have opinions and I honor them. But Dana really felt strongly. And then as I'm sitting in this place over a year later, I can see that Rescued Hearts is such a powerful idea, because really, as we are brought back to love, we rescue our hearts. And horses are away, nature is away, animals are away, people are away. But horses seem to have this incredible energy that they're so in their hearts that they like invite us into that space, as I think Michelle so beautifully and eloquently says. I feel like I'm absorbing all the content and then I just repeat it. So anyway, I feel that even is true for myself. I feel that as we've been in this filming, I found a way back to love, even within myself, of deeper layers of healing and learning and growing. And I feel my own heart opening. And I talked about this on social media, so sorry if some of you already heard this, but I just feel so powerfully about this kind of work, not just our film, but the work in this space, because I think the energy of this time is about coming back home to ourselves, coming back home to love, and returning to this place within ourselves that we've always known, but somehow we forgot and the world kind of like got crazy. And but people like us are coming together and we're saying, let's do this. Let's remember love. And maybe love is the most important thing. Maybe love is the most healing thing. And maybe the whole reason why we're here is to learn how to experience love more deeply. And it starts with ourselves, and then it extends out, and then it's animals, and it's people, and it's the world. So I just see this incredible ripple of healing and energy that's happening. And I feel it right now, even virtually, like around the world, we're all connecting in this way. So those are my words. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the love that's happening in the chat right now. I'm just so honored and blessed to be on this journey with the love of my life, and also just to meet so many of you that I feel like Dana and I are constantly falling in love with new people. Just like, wow, this person's incredible. And it's just such an amazing gift. So if you have questions, reach out to us anytime. And when I say us, I mean Dana. Reach out to Dana anytime. Of course, the sneak preview, it's only available until the 19th. Share it far and wide. Let people know they can hit the $0 if they can't donate. It's just about, really the energy of sharing this kind of heart opening with the world. And I just love you all. Those are my words. I love you all.
I love you too. Krisanna, I love you. Thanks for doing this film with me. I'm so grateful that we're doing this. The whole purpose behind the name of our production company, Live Wild, is about living authentically, being you, truly, like the truest version of yourself. And when we can do that, when we can love others wild for who they are, that makes our world such a better place. So you can learn more about us on livewildfilms.com. And then, of course, lovehealsfilm.com and rescuedheartsfilm.com. We're everywhere. Social media. We are everywhere. All of them. So don't hesitate to reach out. And I appreciate all of your time, your energy, your support, your love. And I just can't thank you enough. Have a great night, everybody.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thanks for being here.
Bye.